Did you know that one of the biggest pizza companies in the world once launched a national advertising campaign with a shocking message? The message was simple: our pizza sucks. How is it possible that a billion-dollar company would publicly admit that its own product was a failure? And how did this insane, suicidal decision not only save them from bankruptcy, but turn them into one of the most dominant food empires on the planet? This is the story of the biggest, bravest, and most brutally honest gamble in modern business history. It's the story of how Domino's Pizza looked in the mirror, admitted it was a failure, and used that painful truth to conquer the world. Our story begins in 2009, and Domino's Pizza is in a state of crisis. The company, once a pioneer of fast pizza delivery, was now a national joke. Their reputation was in the gutter. In nationwide taste tests, their pizza consistently came in last place, beaten not just by Pizza Hut and Papa John's, but even by cheap frozen supermarket pizzas. The customer reviews were brutal. People said the crust tasted like cardboard. They said the sauce tasted like ketchup. They said the cheese was gooey and fake. The company was dying. Their stock price had plummeted. Their franchisees were losing money. The brand was toxic. They had a massive perception problem, but it was based on a very real problem. Their pizza was, in fact, terrible. The executives at Domino's were at a crossroads. They could do what most struggling companies do: create a flashy new commercial with a catchy jingle, offer a new discount, and pretend the problem didn't exist. They could try to trick the public into thinking they had changed without actually changing anything. But the new CEO, a man named Patrick Doyle, knew this wouldn't work. The problem was too deep. The public's hatred for their product was too strong. So he and his team decided to do something no major corporation had ever dared to do before. They decided to tell the truth. All of it. They decided to launch a marketing campaign based on a single, terrifyingly honest idea: radical transparency. The plan was insane. They would create commercials showing their own focus groups with real customers describing their pizza in the most insulting ways possible. They would put their own chefs on camera reading the negative comments out loud, looking ashamed. And then they would promise America that they had heard the criticism, that they had thrown out their old recipe, and that they had created a brand new, better pizza from the ground up. Imagine the courage it took to approve this. You are the CEO of a massive company, and you are about to spend millions of dollars on commercials that tell the entire world that your product is disgusting. Every marketing expert in the world would have told them it was suicide. It was a gamble that could have destroyed the company forever. But Patrick Doyle understood a profound psychological truth. The only way to earn back the public's trust was to first admit that you had lost it. The campaign launched in December of 2009, and it was a shockwave. America had never seen anything like it. People would be sitting on their couches, and suddenly a commercial would appear. It showed a focus group where a woman said, "Domino's crust is like cardboard." Then it would cut to the Domino's head chef, looking directly into the camera, saying, "It was tough to hear, but we had to listen." They created a mini documentary called The Pizza Turnaround that they posted on YouTube. It showed the entire process. It showed the chefs in the test kitchen trying new sauces, new cheeses, new doughs. It showed them traveling the country, surprising their harshest critics at their homes with the new pizza and nervously waiting for their reaction. They weren't just selling a new pizza. They were selling a story of humility, of listening, and of redemption. This was a masterclass in psychology. The campaign did several brilliant things at once. First, it was incredibly disarming. By admitting their own flaws, they instantly neutralized all the negative things people were already saying about them. You can't make fun of a company that is already making fun of itself. Second, It created an incredible amount of curiosity. The campaign was so shocking, so brutally honest, that everyone started talking about it. People who hadn't eaten Domino's in years were suddenly thinking, is it really that bad? And is the new one really that much better? I have to try it for myself. They had turned their greatest weakness into their most powerful marketing tool. But the most brilliant part of the strategy was this: it was all true. This wasn't just a clever marketing trick. They had actually spent over a year and a half creating a brand new pizza. They had a new garlic and herb crust. They had a new, sweeter and more robust tomato sauce. They used a new, higher quality blend of real mozzarella cheese. They had genuinely listened to the criticism and built a better product. The brutal honesty of the campaign would have been a catastrophic failure if the new pizza was just as bad as the old one, but it wasn't. It was actually good. The results were explosive and immediate. In the first quarter after the campaign launched, Domino's sales skyrocketed by over 14%, one of the biggest quarterly jumps in the history of the fast food industry. The gamble had paid off. America gave them a second chance. But the story doesn't end there. Patrick Doyle knew that fixing the pizza was only the first step. He realized that Domino's was not a pizza company. It was a pizza delivery company. The future was not in the ingredients, it was in the technology. With the money and goodwill they had earned from the pizza turnaround, they began to transform themselves into a tech company that happened to sell pizza. They invested hundreds of millions of dollars in their online ordering system and their mobile app. They made it ridiculously easy to order a pizza. They created the Domino's tracker, that little progress bar that shows you exactly when your pizza is being made, when it's in the oven, and when it's out for delivery. This was another stroke of psychological genius. It turned the boring act of waiting into an engaging, transparent, and almost fun experience. They kept innovating. They created systems to order a pizza via a tweet, via a smart TV, via a smart watch. They began experimenting with delivery drones and self-driving cars. They completely changed the game. While their competitors like Pizza Hut were still stuck thinking about stuffed crusts, Domino's was thinking about technology. Today, Domino's is the #1 pizza company in the world. The company that was a national joke in 2009 is now a global titan. Their stock price, which had fallen to less than $3 a share, has since soared to over $500 a share. The company is now worth tens of billions of dollars. The story of the Domino's turnaround is one of the most powerful business lessons of the 21st century. It teaches us that honesty, even when it's brutal, is the most powerful marketing tool in the world. It proves that listening to your customers is not a sign of weakness, but the ultimate sign of strength. And it shows that a company's greatest failure can become the very foundation of its greatest success. Domino's was on the verge of death, and they saved themselves by doing the one thing that almost no one in business or in life is ever brave enough to do. They looked in the mirror and admitted the painful truth.